Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Thursday. Hopefully, you're enjoying your week so far. As always, feel free to email me with any questions. I'm pretty excited to have this audio back up and running. So, today we're going to review multiplying binomials. We've got three different types here. We've got positive numbers only, where I have, x plus something else. We've got positive and negative numbers, where we have x plus something, x minus something, or b plus something, b minus something, and I've kind of mixed those all in together. And then we've got these in the end, what we've been doing the last couple days, where we have negative numbers. So x minus something else, or y minus something else. So we're going to start with just positive numbers only. This is what we did on Monday. So here we're going to use our FOIL method, where we have our first product, our outer, our inner, and our last. So multiply the first things together. X times x is x squared. And then we've got the outer. The outer 2x times 4 is 4x, and it's a positive 4x. And we'll do the inner product. 9 times x is a positive 9x. And then the last product is the last two numbers, positive 9 and positive 4. If I multiply those together, I get a positive 36. Alright, let's try the next one here, and then I'll leave the last two for you guys. So I need to do the first, then the outer, then the inner, then the last. And you know what? I should probably finish this problem before I move on to the next one. So let's add up all of our terms here. Let's get our like terms together. Got x squared 9 plus 4 is 13x plus 36. Alright, now let's go over here. And I've got my first product, the first term in each binomial. A times a is a squared. Then the outer product, a times positive 3 is positive 3a. Then the inner product is positive 7 times a. Sorry about that. 7 times a is a positive 7a. And the last numbers multiplied together. Positive 7 times positive 3 is positive 21. So again, let's combine our like terms. I've got like terms here. So I'll do a squared plus, and what's 3a plus 7a? Well, 3 plus 7 is 10. So it would be 10a plus 21. So that's going to be my final answer here. I'd like you guys to pause the video, and you can try these last two, and I will put the answers up here in a second. So FOIL. First product would be y squared. The outers would be y times 12 is 12y. The inners would be 10y. And last would be 120. So my final answer, after I combine my like terms, would be y squared plus 22y plus 120. And here I've got x squared plus 1x plus 1x plus 1, or x squared plus 1 plus 1 is 2x plus 1. So that's positive numbers only. Now let's look at when I have negative numbers. And here I gave you a little warning. You got to be careful about multiplying positive times a negative. So a positive times a negative is a negative. And we're going to use our same FOIL method here. So that's not going to change. So the first product in number 5, x times x, is x squared. The outers, okay, x times a negative 2. Be very careful to keep that negative with you. So negative 2x. The inner product is positive 12 times x, which is positive 12x. And the last product would be positive 12 times negative 2. Well, a positive times a negative is a negative. 12 times 2 is 24. Now let's combine our like terms. And this is where we have to be careful. I've got positive 12 and negative 2. So do I have more positives or negatives? Well, I've got more positives, and it turns out I have 10 more positives. So this would be x squared plus 10x minus 24. And this next one here, again, we're going to be very careful about where our negative is. You know what? Let me do 7. I'm going to skip around here. So first product would be x times x is x squared. The outer product would be x times 3 is positive 3x, because it's a positive 3. Inner product would be negative 5 times x. Again, keep that negative sign with you. It's a negative 5x. And last but not least, I have negative 5 times positive 3. A negative times a positive is a negative, and 5 times 3 is 15. So let's look for our like terms here in the middle. And this is x squared. Now, do I have more positives or negatives here? Well, I have more negatives. And what's the difference between 5 and 3? Well, I have 2 more negatives than I have positives. So minus 2x minus 15. So we can see if I had, 3x, 3 positives, and 5 negatives, well, then I've got 2 more negatives than I have positives. So that's where that negative 2x comes from. I'm going to leave these last two for you guys just for extra practice if you really want it. Not necessary. I'll post the completed notes here after I'm done with that. And that's just for the sake of time. I want to get to subtraction, because this is probably our most difficult part. Now, I wanted to warm up with adding and multiplying by negatives. So like yesterday, we talked about if I owe Chandler $3, and then I owe him $5 more. So I'm adding on to my debt. I'm adding on to my negative money. So negative 3 plus negative 5, I owe Chandler $3. Then I owe him $5 more. So now I owe Chandler, or I have negative $8. So when you're adding the negative numbers together, you keep it a negative, but when you multiply, negative 2 times negative 7, when you multiply, the negatives become a positive. So let's keep that in mind, and let's FOIL here. I'll do the top two in this one. So my first product, x times x, is x squared. The outer product, so we did first, then the outer, x times a negative 2 is a negative 2x. Let's do the inner. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. And this is where we have to be careful. What operation am I doing? Because I've got 2 negative numbers here. And if I'm multiplying them, a negative times a negative gets me a positive. So that would be positive, and 2 times 4 is 8. So then we can combine our like terms. And I've got x squared minus 6x. Again, this is like when we said I owe Chandler $2, then I owe him $4 after that. So now I owe Chandler $6 plus 8. Always ask yourself, what operation am I doing with these two negative numbers? Am I adding or subtracting, or am I multiplying or dividing? So same thing here. Let's do our first product in number 9. Y times y is y squared. And the outer product, y times a negative 5, is negative 5y. Then the inner product, negative 1 times y is negative 1y. And the very last product, negative 1 times 5, negative 1 times negative 5. Negative times negative is a positive, and 5 times 1 is 5. So then we can find our like terms in the middle. We'll combine those. Y squared minus 6y plus 5. So I'm going to leave the rest of that for you guys to finish just for the sake of time. And we'll have this video uploaded with perfectly synced audio. Very excited about that. Ready for you to go early this morning. So I hope you have a great day. And again, please email me with any questions you have. I'd love to help you guys out.